All right. Are we live? Wait, hold on. What? What did it do? Okay. I think we're live. Okay. So then they changed a whole bunch of stuff. Why? All right, I'm just trying to get myself a little situated to make sure everything is good. I know I should have thought about this before I pressed the button, but I didn't press the button. I wasn't sure I'd get live and I wasn't sure my laptop can handle it. Okay, so here we are. We're live. It is the end of 2024. We have an hour left of 2024. And the title is my 2025 Health, Wealth, Happiness, a Webcam Model's Guide. And it's based on, there was a comment in the channel a while back. I wonder if I can go see it. Someone asking, I think, motivation and camming. So 2025 makes, you can barely hear me. I'm echoing. Hold on. 2025 makes 22 years I've been a cam model. I started March 2003. March 2003, I was 18. I saw an ad in the paper for being a webcam model in a studio. I took the opportunity and I've been doing it ever since. And next year, February, I turned 40. So the whole webcam modeling industry for me is a little different because I'm older and I've been at it a while. And I don't like 2024. Oh, right, my phone. We should have turned that off. My audio okay? 2024. Oh, right, my phone. We should have turned that off. My audio okay? All right, audio sounds good. Cause like I haven't streamed in a while. I don't think anybody knows I'm live. All those things. So yeah, I started 2003, and I kept webcamming, and then I developed bipolar disorder and depression, and I was also trying to hold a full-time job and webcam full-time at home at night and still make the job on time. If it was, especially if I had a job that started 8 to 4, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I liked it better when I had jobs that started after 10 a.m. And it was super ideal when we had a job that had 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 10 to 6, 11 to 7, and 12 to 8. So the first 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 hours of the day, it was just new people starting their shift. And then near the end of the day, it was just the same, the way it rotated of people starting and then people ending, and then people who wanted to just get into the job and then leave early, and then other people who wanted to start late. You knew who was a night owl and you knew who was an early bird from that shift. And that was me in my 18, 19, 20, 25. I had more energy and more invincibility mentality back then. Now, I'm tired. It's flat out tired. I just want to make my money, log off, make sure my money is managed properly, of paying off debt, building my savings, investing, things I should have done in my 20s that I didn't get a chance to do because of the disability. And that is the hardest part of life. It's just what it is. Some people get really good cards, some people don't. And either you're paying crazy eights or Uno. Either way, you're just trying to have win. That's just what you're trying to do. So what do I have here? I had notes. Yeah, so the comment on the channel. I love it when people leave comments on the channel, and sometimes I read them, sometimes they became YouTube video topics, sometimes I ignore them, only because I don't fully understand the question when people are leaving comments. Because I pour all my heart out in the video, most of them. I ramble, I share way too much personal details that I probably shouldn't. And then I get these cryptic, missing sentences or context comments on my channel. It's kind of hard for me to respond back. Just saying. So 2025, it'd be nice if when people leave comments on my channel, it actually gives me, meat in the conversation to know what we're talking about in the conversation. So I've been a cam model a long time, and living with a health condition that didn't show up right away. It showed up in my 20s as just depression. Then things got stable. Then I got multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis wasn't like super aggressive. It was annoying, then it went away. Then it was annoying, then it went away. Then I'm dealing with other stuff. Then I'm dealing with life and stress and my family and a boyfriend and another boyfriend and family and a boy. Like, living and then having challenges is a part of life, but sometimes they make you feel like your hair is falling out. This is part of the reason I cut my hair all the time. I don't want to deal with my hair every day. So, okay, so 25 goals for health, wealth, happiness, specifically tailored to my experience as a webcam model and someone living with a chronic illness disability. I'm reading my notes. I had AI give me a template and I'm trying to stick with it because I will ramble on as long as possible and I need to stick to a show line. So, health is really a weird thing. There's lesions in my spine. C2, C3, T something, brain matter, sleep apnea. And sleep apnea took a while to get diagnosed because people were lumping my tiredness and my constant need to sleep, either side effects of my depression, bipolar medication, or the side effects of my multiple sclerosis medication. So going through doctors, they're the ones who diagnosed me with all the things I had since 2004, doing the protocol of the treatment plan that they give me, trying to follow it. Then new symptoms pop up and they brush them off. I need to talk to everybody in 2025 about my healthcare plan, because we could have solved some of my health issues a whole lot sooner, where I could have got back to life and work. Because I was working, depression, psychosis, hospital, psych evaluation, psychotherapists, rehab support groups. I did all the things you're supposed to do for someone that's diagnosed with bipolar and depression who wants to get back to being stable. And I don't even use healthy. My doctors do. It's just the way they filter me out from other patients. It's just, I live with the challenges. I live with the conditions. I live with the expectations. I live with the assumptions. The assumptions are the worst. Assumptions I learned to let go. Your assumptions about me are your problem. I have things I need to accomplish in 2025 and beyond. So physical health, exercise routine, dietary adjustments, doctor's appointments, managing chronic illness, disability, pain management, medication adherence. Yeah, that is living life. This is level AI at those things. So living with Cymbalta, that hurts. And it's in the commercial. And medications. So like the medications are covered by the health insurance under Ontario Disability Program that I learned accesses the Ontario Drug Formula Program, which is also, so the sleep apnea I did the sleep study. I went into the lab. They hooked me up to wires. I slept. No, I didn't take pictures of the wires. I probably should have. If I do a follow-up, I'll take a next picture next time. Actually, I probably will have to do a follow-up. The way they gave me the machine, the auto CPAP machine. I've had it now for a month. It seems to be going well, kinda. So I got used to wearing it the whole night because I wake up and freak out and take the thing off and pray it's still able to function in the next day. Dietary adjustments. So the thing about that, being on ODSP is below the poverty line. It's $1,368 a month. I get special diet $215 now. That's roughly 1 week of groceries. We still have 3 or 4 more weeks to go in a month. And oh yeah, I like to eat every day, at least twice a day. That is my routine. And maybe more because I cook a big pot of food that would feed 4 to 6 people to myself. I just made myself chicken stock. It's fantastic. Exactly. Like even that. And then when I bought the ingredients for chicken stock, I bought the ingredients to make 2 pots of chicken stock in my stock pot because it evaporates. Like if you're making stock, even if you fill it up to the brim for 4 to 6 hours of simmering all the vegetables and herbs and spices in it, it evaporates. You lose like 8 ounces, maybe, depending on your pot size. At least mine, that's the way it seems to look with mine because it fills up 3 to 4 950 milliliter containers because they all have little measurement stuff on them. And I haven't converted it over, so I have no what they are in cups or liters. Wait, milliliters, liters, cups, quarts. Yeah, I don't know what they are. And then doctor's appointments. I always have a doctor's appointment. Either there's a doctor's appointment, or there's a blood work, or there's a MRI, or there's a neurological exam. That is my life now since 2013. Like the bipolar disorder got stable in 2013, where I finally found a good antipsychotic medication to stable the bipolar disorder symptoms. Then lesions showed up in my brain and my spine, and I couldn't move my left arm. And part of the reason I have my semicolon tattoo on my left shoulder is to remind me to keep going. That is why I have it there. And then the owl tattoo I have on my arm that I traded for a PlayStation. That is because I dream of them when I do get to dream. And if I dream of animals, it's owls, wolves, deer, and butterflies. Those are I don't know what they mean. I'm not really worried about what they mean. I just know in certain dreams that I have, those are the animals that would show up in the dream. And then mental health. It's an ongoing thing. Because we're always either doing an evaluation to see if I'm having symptoms of depression, bipolar, mania, hypomania, psychosis, stress, or if I'm stable and just managing stress like a normal, non-disabled, mentally ill person. That's how the doctors evaluate my condition. And the reason the sleep study happened, I did my mental health evaluation in May. The nurse, the mental health nurse, I think that's what her job was. She's the one that suggested it. Then out of her suggesting it with the notes, I told my doctor about the notes and the appointment. And then she ordered the sleep study. Then the sleep study sent me to a sleep psychologist. That's how that orientation new patient form is 14 pages long. That I have to remember to go tell them all my medical history so that they can order the sleep study. And because I have lesions in my brain from the multiple sclerosis, they had to order an extra type of test, the EKG or EKG. All I know, I had more wires on my brain. Like I had like 4 pounds, 3 pounds of wires hooked to a device. Well, and then my leg, my arm, like everywhere. And now, oh yeah, I stop breathing in my sleep 32 times for 10 seconds because I have sleep apnea. Now I have to sleep with auto CPAP machine every night until my doctors think maybe I don't need it anymore or I have it for the rest of my life. And the thing costs is $775. No, not all of it is covered by ODSP. No, not all of it is covered in Ontario. This is why I work. This is why I work as a webcam model. It supplements all the things that the government doesn't cover for the rest of my life. And I really don't know if I'll retire. I did. Webcamming is an industry that is like nothing else in the entire world at all, where I transform into a different persona, character, performer. It's like watching the Drag Race show. Yeah, like you go from you, then you're in drag, then you perform, then you make your money in tips, and then you take off your makeup and you do it all over again for the next show. Or Cirque du Soleil. They train all day for the show. They do the show, and they go back and do it again. And hopefully they're not injured in between of doing Cirque du Soleil training to performance. That's pretty much how a webcam model is. And starting out, I don't really know what that is anymore. It was 22 years ago. Every time someone asks me starting being a webcam model or how to stay motivated or how to make more money, you're asking me things I figured out 22 years ago that I don't have to worry about today. Like today, my biggest fear is logging onto a website and they're no longer there. That is my biggest fear because I've invested my time, my body, my well-being into these companies. And they don't recognize my government name. They pay my government name. They recognize me, the performer, the artist, the creator, the content, the niche, ebony model, black model, African model. That's who they recognize on the website. And it feels like sometimes I have two personas. But then I was there listening to RuPaul. We all have more than one persona or personality or like shapeshift. Do you call it shapeshifters? Yeah, that is being a webcam model. And it's long hours, and not every model is experiencing the exact same thing or the exact same customers or the exact same request. And then suggesting the same thing to another model who's out there. You have to figure out your own personality online of being a webcam model. And maybe you change it. Maybe it stays the same. Maybe it grows up a little. Maybe it doesn't. Kind of depends on what you're attracting in your room when you're online, depending on what website or style of website, business model you're working with. Then there's live stream. Then there's phone. Then there's membership sites. Then there's clip sites. And there's content sites. And there's custom videos. There's multiple things. No, you don't have to do all of them. I do not do all of them. My well-being and mental health is first. Then I choose where I spend my time and my energy so that I can be the best that I can be in that environment. Plus ignoring a lot of people's opinions all at the same time because their opinions do not pay my bills or my medication or give me the knowledge and skills that I need to talk to my doctors, my caseworker, the psychologist, the social worker, everybody involved that has an opinion about how I live my life and what I'm supposed to do. And then, the Christian Bible thumper people that think they need to throw holy water on me because I'm living a life of sin. Those are my sins. I will deal with them at the time comes. Oh, what else we got? Mental health, therapy appointments, mindfulness practices, meditation, journaling, stress management techniques, deep breathing exercises, emotional health, setting boundaries, self-care practices, baths, reading, hobbies, cultivating positive relationships. So because my bathroom is super small and I'm renting, I don't do baths. I tried, doesn't work. I do super hot showers and spa days. Like I book an appointment in a spa and I get the longest, biggest package for, well, I got deep tissue, shiatsu. I get the longest treatment of massage therapists I can get that my money can buy. Reading audiobooks now. Oh yeah, books I have. That's true. So here's Barbara Sloan's book called Tip Finance, the life-changing guide to financial freedom for waitresses, bartenders, strippers, and all other service industry professionals. I recommend this book, and not only because the author sent me the book as a gift, but for people that are in our industry that are webcam models, exotic dancers, drag queens, anybody that works off a commission-based performance, creative style industries, every dollar you make needs an assignment so that you have some set aside when the time comes that you don't want to do it anymore, you want to take a break, you're burnt out, or you want to move on and do something else. Because everything on this planet Earth costs money. And for us to act like money is not important, or you don't need a lot, or some other weird, justification that money is not important to you, you are sabotaging your future. And I can fully say that because when I got serious with my finances, and it hit me with a ton of bricks when I found Dave Ramsey's baby steps and started following the Dave baby steps. And the reason I keep promoting Dave Ramsey baby steps, he teaches it in a way that you cannot get confused. And then there's Money Guy, Brian Preston, Millionaire Mission book, their financial order of operations. Same thing. They teach it in a way that doesn't get confusing. You know exactly what to do next with your next dollar. Then there's the accountant Mel Abraham, his Building Money Machine. He has 6 steps, 7 steps. He has his own step philosophy. They all kind of sound the same as Dave Ramsey, with some minor adjustments. You need your money working for you harder than you work for yourself. And then the disability community. I fully understand how $1,368 a month from the government of Ontario, Canada, is not enough. It's not, but it's also not designed to be enough since the day they made the Ontario Disability Act 1997. I read the entire policy. I read it frequently. I read it frequently to make sure that I'm prepared for my financial future as a person with a disability eligible for government assistance being a Canadian. Because I'm responsible for my money. Gail Valzoxy said it. I tweeted it the other day. What did I tweet? Let me see if I can find it. Because it's out of her book, Money Rules. I got that on Kindle. Oh, maybe it's my Kindle. Oh, Kindle's on my phone for reading books too. Depending on what book I want to read or sample before I buy the full book. Yeah. So, where is it? Saw it. Yeah, Gail Valzoxy from Till Death Do Us Part, Princess, Money Moron, and she has 6 different books about personal finance in Canada. Like they're a good thing to have in your library if you need books on personal finance and you're Canadian. She says, your money is your responsibility. If you won't take the time to figure out how it works, you shouldn't be surprised when it doesn't work for you. A lot of people out there are going to try to get your money to work for them. Retailers want you to spend it. Bankers want you to borrow it and pay them interest. Investment advisors want you to put your money where it does their sales targets most good. Insurance salespeople want you to buy whatever they're selling, regardless of your needs. As the credit card system and the credit scoring travesty, if you don't understand them, you'll climb on a hamster wheel and run your little tookus. Oh, that's the word. I'm like, what word is that? Tookus off without ever getting anywhere. You're working hard for your money and you're going to work for a long time. Wait, no, work a long, long time. Right. So that's what happens. And then I totally understand that there's people with a disability, depending on the nature of their disability, they mentally can't process this information. They don't have the execution skills to do this, but it doesn't stop what's being true. If you can't figure out your money, or you don't have people you trust to help you figure out your money, then your decisions are made by the government. Because having a disability. And I did the leadership training series with Race and Disability Canada. It was an eye-opening thing to show how the entire system is designed not to benefit the person with the disability if they access government programs or housing, any of the things made by the government for people that are low income, disabled, incapable of making their own decisions. The government makes the decision for you, unless you have family members who make a decision for you. But even that, you're trusting a lot of other people to make decisions for the life that you're living on this planet. Like, you end up being a puppet for, I don't know how to describe it. You end up being a puppet. Your life is happening to you instead of you happening to your life when you have somebody else making your decisions. And me reading the disability policy was, how do I take back my power, my control of my life? Because part of the reason of me leaving home at 18 years old, I wanted to be in full control of my life. And then that got taken away because of the disability. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not going to live longer and keep going to have other people control my life. And that's not why I wake up every day. It's not. One of my dreams I had when I was able to dream fully, a full dream, said I'm not here on the planet to have other people tell me what to do. That, like, if anybody's going to tell me what to do, it's going to be the Holy Spirit. He already has that role. Like, that's the only person. That's the only being, entity, institute. That's the only thing that's going to tell me what to do. It's the Holy Spirit going to do it. And I'm not going to go too deep into it, but that's. So no, it's not going to be a caseworker at the disability office. It's not even my family doctor. And I learned it's not my family doctor when I was having trouble with substances. The way that they were ready to drop me as a patient because I made a decision for my life that they didn't agree to. And I had to make an extra appointment and really talk with them of what role is this patient-doctor relationship? Like what are the boundaries and what are the expectations? And because I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have my appointment and then go home and meet people and make decisions. And sometimes they're not gonna like the decision. I got sober. Yes, I got sober for me because I knew me getting sober was for a higher purpose and all that. I still have my family doctor. She's amazing. Same thing, her team, when she's a teaching doctor. So when she's bringing in other future doctors into her practice, and they'll ask if they can be in my appointment so they can learn healthcare. I'm happy to teach them. I'm happy. Like, I'm not a simple patient. I've been through a lot of stuff. Majority of the time, everything's relatively healthy and relatively good. But we have some pockets in my life that cause, I don't know, a natural disaster, the best way to describe it. So, boundaries. Yes, boundaries with yourself, boundaries with the doctor, boundaries with the system they're accessing. All of the systems that we have to access, you decide how much of it do you access or don't access. Because I read ODSP. They control every aspect of your life. Do I have those notes on my screen over here? So I can summarize how much of it people give up from being on assistance. I just need to open one of them to go to the policy. Okay, so policy directive, Ontario Disability Support Program. So you have to determine if you're eligible, make your application, wait to get approved. It's on the government website. You can, if you're in Ontario, you live with a disability, you think you should apply for Ontario Disability Support Program, everything that they have is online, or call 211 and find out your nearest ODSP office and go there and start your application. It's a government institution. I am not a caseworker. I don't help with your file at all. I'm an eligible member of the benefit unit living with a disability who meets the criteria of Ontario Disability Support Program as a person with a disability. And they run my life. And I'm trying to part, is it part or separate? There's a word. I'm trying to terminate the business agreement I have with Ontario government because I don't want them in my life my entire life. I want to. 2025 is year one of the 5-year plan of exiting off of Ontario Disability Support Program. Because if I get married, they control the household income of me and my future spouse. Whether we're common law, legally married, whoever that future person is, has to come into my life and be okay with our assets dropping to $50,000 a year, and any income that he makes over $200 reduces my ODSP benefit payment and also puts my prescriptions at risk because the ODSP said so. I don't want that. I never wanted that. When I was I'm not there yet. We're not going to go on that rant. So they control assets, income. You have to report to them when you leave the province for more than 30 days. You have to report to them when you get married. You have to report to them if you win the lottery over $10,000. You actually have to report to them if you win the lottery, if you make $100. It's a whole thing. Gifts, honorariums. So like if mom, dad, grandma give me any money, I have to report it to them. Any money I make off my YouTube channel, my other businesses, I have to report it to them. I have to report to the government. Anybody else who's wondering what do I do, how I do it all, it's not really a you thing to know about. It's me and the government have to know about. Like I do the thing, then I have to report it to the government. Then they turn around and tell me if I'm eligible or owe them an overpayment or taxes. And I have to go out there, go back to work, make the money to pay off the thing that it's me and the government. Like it's, and I learned the only way to make it not me and the government, I have to lean on my Holy Spirit. I have to lean on the Holy Power. Because he didn't create me to only be here to worry about a government institution at all. My calling is bigger than that. Sure, yes, I'm on government assistance for a purpose, and He gave me the knowledge in my brain, the skill in my brain to understand exactly what this policy is and the requirements are and how it affects my life and how it affects other people's lives and how to be your own advocate and how to be your own ish disturber so that you take control of your life. What I learned about ODSP, the money they give you, the shelter allowance, the special needs allowance, it's the government money. Yes, you paid into it with taxes. You may paid into it with taxes for a very long time or a short period of time, depending on when did you become disabled, then when did you apply for disability benefits. But the money you earn for yourself from employment, self-employment, income producing assets, it's your money. Your money in Canada Revenue Agency, because they want their taxes. The tax man will always find a way to get their money, whether it's through the provincial level or through the federal level. But it's your responsibility to know what that is and know what part of it you're going to participate in. And I wish more people understood that. And then, if you understand how money works by having assets that produce more assets or produce more income, you can actually kinda, with the law and everything else that's already there in place of rules, like Monopoly, win the game. I like playing Payday. Payday is a nice game. Payday acts like it's real life. Payday, you start the game, there's like little cards. One of them has your job. One of them how much you're paid for your job. I need to get that board game. So next live stream, I need to get it so people can see what it is. Then there's a banker in that game. There's assets in that game. But the way the game is, there's a stack of cards. And sometimes a stack of cards will give you like life emergencies or circumstances or a bill. And then the board game is a whole calendar month. You choose to play it for 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. It was a way easier game for my family to comprehend very quickly versus Monopoly. Now, I could probably go back and play Monopoly if I take the time to read the rules, but the board game Payday, for the everyday person, a whole lot easier to catch on. A whole lot easier to catch on. Like, way easier to catch on. And it's just the way that game works. Yeah, ODSP controls every aspect of my life. Health benefits, like they decide when they're going to pay for any of the prescriptions that my doctors order. They literally decide, yes, we'll cover it. No, we won't cover it. We'll cover 2% of it. We'll cover 70% of it. We'll cover it only until there's a generic available. Like the level of rules that's there. And then I learned it's not just ODSP health insurance in there. It's the whole institution. So there's ODSP, but ODSP works with the insurance companies. Then the insurance companies are working with the government. Then there's other stakeholders and other people who have a stake in setting up this poverty level legislative system. This year, I learned that some players are in there to keep themselves in jobs. Food bank, charities, certain charities that study poverty, like Wellesley Institute, then March of Dimes, the way that they were helping polio first, and polio is pretty much gone. Then they added stroke survivors. Then they kept adding another disability of populations that they claim that they were helping, but they don't really help that much. And navigating bipolar and navigating lesions in my spine that equal multiple sclerosis, I felt very lost. I felt very out of place. Because it's an invisible disability. It's in my brain and my spine, and you don't know I have it, or you don't know it's actually a thing unless either you see me in psychosis or you come with me to the medical appointment and you hear my doctor read off my notes. That's like almost nobody right now. My support system doesn't show up to those appointments. I literally go to the appointment. I hope mom, dad, or grandma will come to the appointment. They're usually working. So I'm in the appointment by myself trying to process all this information, and I have to make a decision for my life. Every appointment I go in, I need to have discernment, take what I need, make my best decision for my best outcome and my goals and my futures and plans that I have on the limited time I have on this planet, and hope it works out. 50-50, yes or no, it'll work out. Yeah, 40, that's it. Like, any new person that comes in the future, they have to be on board. Like, they have to be on board. This has been happening long before they existed. I got diagnosed when I was 22. Bipolar. 22, bipolar, and then 2013. How old was I in 13? Let me check. 2013, I was 28. So I didn't have like a good long window of bipolar depression, 22, then multiple sclerosis, 28. From not able to move my arm, dropping dishes and stuff all the time, shooting pain down my arm, EKG, EAG, every electrical type test that they do that starts with an E, I did it. The amount of wires they attached to me to figure out, and a needle in my arm, the I need to look it up again. What is his job description? Because it's not a regular neurologist. It's a neurophysio. Maybe I can pronounce it. I don't know. Okay, neurophysiologist is a study of the nervous system functions and mechanisms. It involves examining the electrical and biometrical processes that occur in the nervous system, including the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. Yeah, I had to go see that doctor. That is different from my neurologist that specializes in multiple sclerosis. Because their testing is different. Their approach in the appointment is completely different. Even though they're in the exact same hospital, 2 different floors, the entire questions they ask, how they introduce themselves into the appointment, what they're looking for in my notes, completely different. And even the way that I will ask them questions and how they respond back to me, completely different. So a neurologist is a doctor specializes in diagnosing and treating multiple sclerosis because MS affects the brain and nervous system. Diagnosis and neurologists, there we go, will use a checklist called a McDonald criteria to diagnose MS and may perform tests like blood tests and MRI. Treatment, a neurologist can select the right treatment for MS. So treatment for MS took a while, because I have relapse and remitting multiple sclerosis. Whenever the multiple sclerosis symptoms disappeared, I thought I was fine. So I went out and lived my life. Then the symptoms came back. It kind of felt like the same symptoms as bipolar disorder. I would go and have a good time, crash and have depression, don't want to see anybody, don't want to do anything. Wait till I have a season of hypermania or hyperactivity, go out there, go live my life, crash and have depression. All good. Midnight is almost here. This is great. And I can't hear anything. There's a bunch of fireworks and stuff going off right now. Oh, that's going to be a while. So Happy New Year to everybody, because my place is going to be... Are they screaming yet? Okay, they're almost screaming. So, wait, there's the air horn. Is there somebody in chat? I've been going on for a while. It started with Health, Wealth, and Happiness, a webcam model's guide. The webcam model part is pretty short in the sense that I've been in the industry for 22 years. I started in 2003. I'm trying to talk over fireworks and screaming and air horns and pots and pans banging right now. It's not even, we have 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Let me get a countdown clock. Countdown to New Year. Not that one. How you doing, hun? Yeah, my whole building's screaming right now. It's not even midnight yet. I mean, you probably don't hear it because the way the microphone is set up, but I can hear it and it's distracting me from what I was talking about. Okay, so since it's New Year, put your plans. What do you hope for 2025? That's a lot of screaming. Oh, wow. That's a lot of screaming over there for New Year. I left off at talking about boundaries, self care. I talked about the book. Oh, importance of breaks, maintaining a healthy work life balance, ergonomics. You can't control the economy. What in 2025 that you can control that you're hopeful for in 2025? I can't control the economy. The economy will do what the economy is doing. And I'm hoping the economy will do good so my portfolio is invested correctly the way it's supposed to. Like, I need the economy to do what it needs to do so that my portfolio rises. Now that I'm invested in stocks, ETFs, bonds, mutual funds, segregated funds in my portfolio. But I know I can't control that. That's something I can control. I can control how much work I do, how much sleep I get, showing up at my doctor's appointments, stayed sober as long as possible, work-life balance, even though I don't really think there's a work-life balance, but work-life harmonization, my posture, exercise, diet, those things I can control. The economy I cannot control. That is so loud in my ear. Are we at 3 minutes? I mean, they do this every year. I knew this was coming in the neighborhood. This is the first New Year I've done a live stream while New Year's is happening in my building. Okay, we have like a minute and a half. And 2025 is here. And I count down to my birthday. That's pretty much how that works. We have New Year, then I count down to my birthday, then I focus on my goals for 2025. And I hope they're better than last year, and we do it all over again. Do I have my 5-year plan in my notes? Because I have a 5-year plan. I basically have a 5-year plan of exiting off of Ontario Disability Support Program. And fun fact, I got AI to make my 5-year plan, and it's pretty fantastic because it's pretty accurate of what I've been doing for the last 6 years. Why is my 5-year plan taking me almost 10 years? I live with a disability with a lot of obstacles and, natural disasters that happen with it. Like, life is going to happen no matter what. As long as you're here, life is going to happen. So the 5-year plan, maybe, yes, it's a 5-year plan as long as everything in that 5-year plan on paper goes perfectly well. But if your 5-year plan interacts with other people, it's not. It may or may not go as smooth as you would like. Luckily, my 5-year plan doesn't involve a lot of people, but other people will be helping me on my 5-year plan. Is it midnight? Oh, yes, it is. Wait, no, you have 10 seconds. It's so weird. The countdown says we have 20 seconds. That's just too funny. But my clock fully says it's midnight. That's not the New Year timer. Hold on. That's just too funny. Timeofday.com may have gotten it incorrect. Yeah, man, that's loud. Oh, I know what happened. It's doing a New Year countdown around the world. I was wondering why the countdown clock kept resetting. It's basically doing it around the world. So basically, 3 o'clock in the morning is midnight in Vancouver, and midnight right now is Eastern Standard Time. I wonder if I can hear it in my feed. It is so loud. I wonder if I can hear it in my feed. It is so loud. Actually, I can't even tell. That is me trying to find two noises at once, and one is still louder in my ear. All right, so back to my notes. Building wealth, building a secure future. So, building the financial goals. The financial goals I have for 2025, they go pretty simple. I'm back in credit card debt. I've paid on the credit card debt. We're back to saving $1,000, start an emergency fund in the household business, the household emergency fund. Then I have a business. The business needs also, it's $1,000 for retained earnings. Business and personal, they're separate. They don't meet. I don't have them cross over as much as possible. Then there's the goal of paying down one credit card. I have 4 credit cards, but the goal is to pay down the smallest credit card and then close it. Then I have 3 credit cards, 2 for business, 1 for personal. And then my investments, the majority of my investments are my registered disability savings plan. The mission is still to receive as much as humanly possible of the grants and bonds in a match of contributions in that plan until I turn 49. 2025 is the last year I'm eligible for the disability tax credit. Then I have to reapply for the disability tax credit at the end of 2025, hoping that I continue on keeping my disability tax credit active so I can not only continue accessing my registered disability savings plan and making contributions to it and receiving the grants and bonds, but the Canadian government also made Canada disability benefit. The way the Ontario Disability Support Program is set up and designed of the rule pursue other sources of income, they are going to expect me to show reasonable effort of applying for the Canada Disability Benefit. That'll happen in July. And that's already halfway done the year. Then in July, depending on how the economy is going with inflation, ODSP may increase with inflation or it may not increase with inflation for July. And this will be like this 3rd year. I think I need to go back and look at the notes for ODSP when they started increasing it with inflation. But I think this is the third year it should increase in inflation, but this is the first year it may not increase with inflation because the way the Bank of Canada is lowering interest rates. So we'll find out how that looks out in July. That thing, I can't control that. That's the government making their decision based on what's happening in the economy. My job is to operate my business, grow the YouTube channel, make more money, keep myself monetized in all the places I know where to be monetized online, for being an online digital entrepreneur for 22 years and counting. That skill, that knowledge, that ability, that wealth did not go anywhere because I have bipolar disorder and multiple sclerosis and 8 other different health conditions that affect me every single day. I don't always talk about all my health conditions. I literally have to go check my notes to tell you what they all are. If I have to go recap what are my health conditions that actually don't mean anything to you, that you know these are my health conditions. Like, I have a mental disorder, a psychiatric disorder, post-traumatic stress, complex PTSD, anxiety disorder, social phobia, agoraphobia, depressive disorder, major depressive disorder, bipolar. Some of these things are the same thing with multiple names because the way doctors label the thing when they were discovering the thing. Multiple sclerosis, scoliosis, chronic pain, substance use disorder, attention deficit disorder, or hyperactivity disorder. Wait, what? I screwed that one up. That's the new one. ADHD is a new one. Then we have hypertension, hyperlipidemia, sleep apnea, sleep breathing disorder. I now not only have to take my prescriptions every single day for the rest of my life, I also have to make sure before I go to bed that my sleep app machine is ready for me to go to bed with. And then I have to make sure it's clean every other day or so to keep it running and until forever, pretty much. And then with disability benefits, like I'm really hoping I just have the Ontario Disability Support Program, Canada Disability Benefit, the Disability Tax Credit, the Registered Disability Savings Plan. I'm not really interested in applying for CPP Disability, which is the Canada Pension Plan Disability, because Service Canada said my CPP or CPP disability is the same amount of money. It's the same money from the same place, just one has disability attached to it and one doesn't. But it's literally the same amount of money. It's $1,019 that's there. Like, I called them, I asked them, I called them again. Like, I called them and asked them how much my CPP is. Then I waited and I called and asked again. And then the second time I asked again, they said I could check it, what it is online. So I know what year of me working did I contribute to CPP, and that amount of money is also there for CPP disability. The thing about all these government programs for a person with a disability, they are not the same for two people. Everybody is different. Just because the program name is supposed to be for everybody if they're eligible, doesn't mean you're accessing the exact same experience. Nobody's accessing the same experience. Nobody's experiencing the same experience. Like my CPP being $1,019 is because of what happened in my life. You have nothing to do to contribute to that. Like, it's in my government name, it's attached to my social insurance number. It's been there since the day I earned my first dollar from a job or contribute to CPP because I'm self-employed. Nobody can change that but me. And yesterday, some people are never going to understand that. Flat out. Like, no two people on the planet are living the same way with their disability, have the same resources, have the same ability, have the same access, have the same experience, talk to the same people. We're just living our lives and hoping we all make it to the other side. That's what we're trying to do. Okay, talked about disability. We talked about, where are my notes? Oh, tips for other webcam models: tax planning, understanding platform fees, negotiating rates, building an online brand, potential collaboration. See, like cam models, they message me they want advice of being a cam model, but they don't actually want to do the advice that I give them. Like, being a cam model is an internet business. It's the internet economy. It's been like that since the late 90s. Two of the websites I work on started in 1996. It would have been three of the websites I work on started in 1996, but one of them closed in 2017. I work 4 webcam sites over the span of 22 years. The first website I started on was 2003. Second website was 2004. Then it was a website 2005. Then a website in 2008. And now I'm trying to cut down my work schedule where I only work 2 websites. The website from 2008 that started in 1996. Then the website I found in 2004 that started in 2003. And I may work the website that started in 2003 that I've been on since 2005. And then the website that I started on in 2003 that's been around since 1996, and then merged with another internet platform dating website. I may keep it around because I like the money I make from being a webcam model. It's part of the whole. I want multiple streams of income, and I'm really good at what I do when I do it, when I'm focused and able to do it. And for me to live with my disability with its high expenses and medical cost, and then future medical cost, I need as much sources of income into my life while I'm still able to remember to do the work so I can have a future in place. Oh, yeah. That's my responsibility to do it. It's not, Prince Charming is not going to do it. The government's not going to do it. A caseworker in my disability office is not going to do it. I bet you right now, if I log into my disability caseworker file and I go check who is my caseworker, it's going to say caseworker to be determined. It's going to say caseworker to be determined. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go into a rant. We're not going to do that right now. We're just going to move on to the next thing. So, platform fees for a webcam site. Here's the thing, like, it's just going to bring it. I love how these notes are interesting. So, platform fees for a webcam model, it's a business relationship of you and the cam site as a cam model. You didn't launch the website, you didn't build the website, you didn't do the tech support, you didn't do UI development, the UX development. The amount of technology and skills that are required to build a streaming website that's also processing credit card and merchant fees from the customers at any given moment on the website, 24 hours a day, 365, where there's always somebody on the website to either offer the service or deliver the service or in demand of the service for almost 1996. I need a calculator on that one. 1996, 2025, hold on. 29 years the webcam business has been around. The webcam business for adults over the age of 18 because there's mature content and possible nudity. 29 years. You realize webcamming started before I was born. Not born. No, I was around in 1996. I was there. I was like 10 in 96. And then I turned 18 in 2003. And then 29 years later, I still have my job as a webcam model. 22 for me, 29 for the industry. Then some new person who wasn't even born when I started as a webcam model comes around and thinks they have some superpower elite to move up the ladder, and they never prove the industry who they are and what they can do. They didn't do that. So I can go through how to be a webcam model in 2025, but it doesn't actually change anything from 1996. You have to show up ready, camera ready, nails done if you choose to get your nails done, hair done, get your hair done, makeup optional depending on how you want to look. Like 2025 now, I have to consider learning how to wear makeup because makeup is not my natural thing to do. Like, I'm not thinking to wake up in the morning and put my face on and then my eyelashes and my lipstick and my liner and all. No, I literally only put makeup on when I do a photo shoot. But now that I want to level up my webcam model income, presence, performance, experience, all those things, I'm going to have to invest in some makeup. And makeup is not cheap. You see the economy we're in? I know it's not cheap. It's never going to be cheap. I need to make sure that I understand the assignment. If I want to play the game of being a webcam model, then I'm ready to show up with I'm ready to show up and play. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And then because now the webcam modeling industry, it didn't evolve. It's still the same thing. Technology has made it more accessible and available, and it lowered the bar of entry for more people. When I started as a webcam model, I was a webcam model. Then I wanted to build a website. Then I wanted my website to have a built-in webcam software in it. That cost a lot of money to do. And then I got bored, or the business contract didn't work out too well, and I had to figure out to reinvent myself. that I've been through, I have my bruises to prove how much stuff I've been through in this industry. I don't need to prove, one, I don't need to prove it to other people, but I know where I came from. I'm humbled where I came from. Because this industry chewed me up, spit me out multiple times. And I had to pick myself up, dust myself off, get myself well, go back out there and fight back in the ring. I think I'm at, what round? 22. I'm round 22. Round 22, 365 days, 8 hours a day, taking 2 days off. So actually you work, you don't so if you're working as a webcam model and you're making your money, you're charging your fees on your website, is it this spreadsheet or a different spreadsheet? It's kind of this spreadsheet. So the way I compare it, minimum wage in Ontario is $17.20 right now. It'll go up in 2025. I forgot, either April or October or July, it'll go up because minimum wage is also indexed to inflation. That will go up pretty much no matter what because the people that fought for that to increase. So 40 hours a week is 5 days a week. Take your breaks. Do not burn out. You don't have to chase every dollar on the website unless there's a purpose behind it and you know you cannot do that long term. I know there's some cam models that have been on the website for 24 hours or something, and they're pushing themselves to place in a contest or win a trip or win prizes and things like that from the website. And the industry is super competitive. But that competitiveness long term will burn you out. Most cam models barely last 5 years. I'm going on year 22. I have a whole different mindset and strategy that I'm dealing with when I'm in this industry. At most, especially now that I have my CPAP machine and my sleep apnea is being treated and monitored and followed with a doctor in February and all those things that are going to happen, I have a different level of energy and clarity of mind that I didn't have before for a very long time, which I'm amazed I functioned that much for that long. Working 12 hours a day, 60 hours a week is a lot. Some people do it. Some people do longer. I'll do it sometimes. I'm not trying to do that all the time. I have a life to live. I have food to cook and appointments and self-care and all those things. So there's one of the cam models I know, her advice was work 20 hours online on webcam, work 20 hours offline, getting ready to be on webcam. And it's a combination of read books, socialize with different people. Yes, socialize with different people. No, they don't need to know what you do for your living. It's none of their business. They don't pay your bills. Travel, experience things, go on dates. Don't just have your life glued to a computer or a camera and lighting, and that's it. Because life is going to hit you hard, and I don't know what that's going to be for you. I didn't know what it was going to be for me until it hit me in the face. And it got to a point I couldn't move my left arm. And oh yeah, I ended up in the hospital for various things because I'm psychotic. And then coming back from those things and still want to go at it in life. And then, oh yeah, there are people out there who do not want you to win. Those people don't matter. But if you're mentally not strong, those people will mess with your head. Intentionally, unintentionally mess with your head. So I've learned now, as I've gotten older, I've slightly turned into my mother. You need a spiritual practice. It doesn't have to be Christian faith. It can be any of the spiritual practices that we have out there. I believe we have 8 different religions. Then people are manifesting people. Manifestation is neuroscience. Then we have the Buddha, not Buddhism, the Eckhart Tolle, his stuff. I think it's Stoicism. Pick your philosophy that grounds you and keeps your anxiety low as possible. Also in the continuous consciousness relationship that there is a higher power bigger than you running this planet. It's not the other people on the planet. They don't know what they're doing. Everybody is making everything up. Like, it took me a while to figure that out. Lucky I figured it out before I turned 40. I turned 40 in February. Luckily I figured that out. And for me, recently, I've been listening to a lot of RuPaul, and the stuff he says makes a lot of sense. On a spiritual level, makes sense. And then recently I was listening to Myron Golden. He studies the Bible, then he uses the Bible to build his business. And he knows the Bible is teaching him how to build his business. Because you may have noticed, depending on what circles you follow in, there is a lot of Christian faith-based entrepreneurs. There's actually a whole kingdom. What is it? Kingdom advisors? Kingdom advisors and kingdom entrepreneurs. Let's see. I wonder if there's a kingdom. Yeah, kingdom advisors. That's one. And then I wonder about kingdom entrepreneurs. Kingdom driven entrepreneur. Is that what's one? He help you experience God's best in your business and have a greater kingdom impact in the marketplace. Yeah, that's one of them. There's also Ray Higdon. Ray Higdon found God recently, and his business, his content, fully changed. I saw it. At first, I wasn't sure what it was, just because, I met the man. I remember. I wasn't thinking, oh, he's not going to turn into a Bible thumping business entrepreneur. I wasn't thinking. And the way that people think they want to save me, you don't need to save me. I have my relationship with my holy power, my Holy Spirit. He knew what I would do before he created me in my mother's womb. And the Christian Bible faith that we keep reading, it's not the whole story. It's a story, but it's not the whole story. And I know other people don't want to hear that, but it's not the whole story. It's that book has been edited so much. The story in there is no longer in there. Like the true story of it is no longer in there because it's been edited and collaborated by so many people and so many versions of it and so many people that study it that the original origin story of it is no longer there. Yeah. And it's pretty much all of the religions with a prophet that delivers a message to the world to bring enlightenment and change and innovation. It's basically a really good innovation story about life. But it's not, and the reason I say that, I've been through some things that I could have crossed over to the other side. I didn't. I'm still here. But in those times, I learned we are all making it up as we go. We are all doing the best with what we have that's been given to us while we're here. Some of us will use them really well, resources and talents and knowledge and learning and growth and taking responsibility and ownership for what we have. Some of us are not. It's just what it is. Ideally, we're supposed to be helping each other along the way. We're not really good at that all the time. We mean well, but sometimes no. And it's because of what we experience. Because remember, no two people have the full same origin story, starting line. None of us start at the same place. We did. Something happened. We don't start at the same place anymore. And it's not because we don't have all the information pieces, because records get lost, people forget, memory is weird. It changed a little. We're like on version, I don't know, 2025. Like, things have changed in the environment. I'm just saying. But I'm all like, okay, so I went off on a rant. I talk about breaks. I talk about platforms. I talk about starting as a CAM model. Yeah, having the spiritual practice. You need a spiritual practice that grounds you so you can handle the high pressure, high demand job of being a webcam model. Because most people don't last one day, let alone work enough till they get paid, then do it again 30 days later, 3 months later, 6 months later, like 22 years later. I still log on. To make my money. I still do what I need to do to make my money online. And there was a time I didn't think I would continue, because I was going through stuff I needed to go through. Now, I cleared up some of that way down baggage. It's gone. I'm now in a new direction, new things. Yeah, I want to live my best, fabulous 40 generation life. Like the 2025 is huge because I turned 40. Every 5 years, I'm in a new decade era or half decade era of my life. So they're huge. It's just a timing of when I was born in 1985, and then 1990, and then 1995, and then 2000, and then 2005, and then 2010, and then 2015, and then 2020, and then 2025. We all know 2020 was not that great. But in that mess of a season, I did turn things around in my life that I needed to do. Kind of depends. 2010 wasn't that great. Oh, I just saw the connection. So 2020, the whole world had the pandemic. 2010, I was potentially on the verge of being evicted and fighting being homeless from my apartment. What happened in 2025? 2005. Bipolar? Maybe. I think I need to go back and review what happened to those times in my life. But 2010 and 2020 have a similar... Oh. I need to get prepared for 2030. I mean, it won't be as bad because of things I'm doing now. But I really have to make sure that 2030 is not like 2020 or 2010 or 2000. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. So I had an epiphany about my life. So that is interesting. Okay. So number 4, happiness, cultivating joy and fulfillment. That is probably the hardest thing that people can do on this planet. Like cultivating your joy and your fulfillment, not somebody else's. Like yours like it's true to your core that you're called to do, that actually lights your soul on fire, that you glow. That is the whole point of having the spiritual practice. Like cultivating joy and fulfillment and absolute happiness is something that comes with a spiritual practice that is actually yours and not labels of other people. Most of the labels we have, they're given by other people. Like my disability diagnosis was given to me by my medical doctor who filled out a form so I can access disability benefits. And because a bunch of people in a boardroom decided the criteria for disabled, they recognized me as disabled. When honestly, I had the diagnosis and I had to figure it out with the diagnosis. And at one point in time, we didn't have a diagnosis. We just lived our lives without diagnosis and just hope we made it. That was it. Then, evolution and all that other stuff, here we are. But the cultivating joy and fulfillment, that is something that comes out of neuroplasticity. And that's literally the way your brain is wired to tap into source. Whoever that is, they have multiple names and it's the same name. You kind of learn that when you research mythology. Greek mythology, the Norse gods mythology with Thor and Odin and all of them. Like the Marvel comics that twisted it around. It's the same person we're worshiping, multiple names, same superpowers. I don't know why I have to make it so complicated. It's the same thing, but we have to rename it and repackage it every few generations. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I really don't know why. I don't know why I get to repackage it. It's the same thing. So personal growth, happiness goals, personal growth, learning new skills, pursuing hobbies, traveling if possible, giving back to the community, relationship, nurturing friendships, strengthening family bonds, building healthy romantic relationships, mindset shift, practicing gratitude, focusing on the positive, learning to embrace imperfections. And then we have here tips for other webcam models, finding joy in the work, setting realistic expectations, celebrating successes, building a supportive community. That's a lot to do. It's not something that happens in 1 year. Like all those things I listed is not something that happens in 1 year. You can decide, oh, that's so good. Where's my book, 12-Week Year? A good segue for this book that I need to finish reading more than the first 80 pages of the book. So 12-Week Year. This book was a classmate gave me this book. I helped her with an assignment. She offered to repay me. She said her aunt works at the bookstore. I asked for the 12-Week Year book. She said this book was the hardest book to find in that particular bookstore. And I have not read past. I'm seeing if my bookmark is still in this book. Yeah. Here's my Canadian Tire money that I have. I use as bookmarks. It's on page 13. Okay, here we go. There's nothing like a deadline to get you motivated. It all happens the time in the insurance and financial services industry. For many agents and firms, December is traditionally the best month of the year. And the fourth quarter often represents 30 to 40% of the annual sales. It is amazing what happens when people have a goal and a deadline. Year end is certainly a rousing time in most industries. Activity is up and people are focused. With little time to waste, with clear objectives to meet workers' focus on critical projects and opportunities. The tasks that are not directly related to driving results are pushed aside for what really matters in the short term. Now, the reason the book, The 12-Week Year, is really good and you're a webcam model, every website has a contest. Most of them do. I think all of them do now. It's 29 years of the industry. I think all of the websites have a contest. And because most webcam models work multiple websites, you're not actually able to fully maximize the opportunity you have on a cam site because you're splitting your energy thin. Like, I'm registered on 4 websites. I would like to be able to have a schedule that lets me work all 4 websites at full speed, but that's not actually realistically, harmonically possible. So I had to narrow down my choices in my own ranking system of being with these websites for over a decade, going on 2 decades, rolling into 3 decades because year 2022, that's funny. 22 years of being a cam model and working 4 websites. I used to be registered on 7. Some of them merged with the websites I work because they're big, huge companies for 30 years in the industry. Webcam, like, people need to take this industry way more seriously, but they don't because of the nature of the business. Webcamming is the reason we have live streaming and any other service industry on the platform. But people forget that all the time. I wish they remembered why. So 12-week year. It basically gives you the rundown how to set up your whole entire year as a webcam model to achieve your goals in the 12-week planning. Like, you plan, like, January's coming. Most people start right after Monday. They start Monday. Most of them start Monday. January 6th. I think even colleges start on Monday for the schedule. So they start on Monday. They basically spend you spend like a week or 2 planning for your 12-week year. And there's also another goal setting guide called the 100-Day Challenge. He kind of sets up the year in 100 days. There's 3 major 100-day challenges that he does. And he runs this 100-day challenge for goal setting, productivity, things like that. We are kind of built that way when you know how the rhythm of your life works. And there's also, Kate Northrup does it for women based off her moon cycle. Whatever you're going to follow, stick with it. Like, whatever business system you're going to follow to make yourself productive as a performer, content creator, business owner, stick with it. Because you need to see your own personal records of your results over and over again. And, I can't, bugger, I can't show it to you. Like, I was going to log into one of the webcam sites and show you my stats for December because my CPAP machine arrived last week of November. And the minute I started using my CPAP machine to deal with the sleep breathing disorder that I have, my energy came back. My motivation came back. The motivation was already there. Like, the motivation to work and do my job and make my money and build wealth and become a millionaire and not be on disability is always there. But having the CPAP machine help me sleep a full night of sleep for me, because I average 5 hours a night for sleep, and I sleep sometimes an hour and a half in the day, based on how the machine records. Like, either it's recording my sleep or it's recording the time I'm using the machine, breathing into the machine. I probably need another app or device to track my actual sleep routine. Probably a Fitbit or Apple Watch or some other thing has it. I didn't make the amount of money that I wanted for December, but the whole month of December, I'm going to see if I can log in. Can I log in and check it? Let's see. Because I remember it being 44 hours, but I don't know which month that was. All right, this month. Oh, it already rolled over. Oh, I have to log in and check. All right, here are my stats. Month of December. Oh, it says January 2025. Oh. Well, tomorrow morning I work. So, month of December. one of the webcam sites I worked, I logged 44 hours, 51 minutes for the month. Last year, December 2023, I did 37 hours and 34 minutes. Year before that, 2022. 80 hours and 1 minute. Now, I'm already halfway to 80 for the month of December. I could have done more, but I was adjusting to my boost of energy because December 2024 was different based on per day. So I have to go find a whole, where's the other spot that teaches me per day, my hours online. Time online. No, it's not that one. Like I only have to go week to week because it logs the minutes I've been online. One of those 225 minutes, 1,308 minutes. I don't remember working that much, but I used to be able to work 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day. I don't know how. Because younger me was able to do things, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm supposed to do that now. And I probably won't be able to get to that level now. I just probably won't. Because my body is different. My mind is different. There's lesions and stuff in my brain and my spine. It's going to be different. But what I know is if I set up my schedule and my focus properly, I'll be able to accomplish exactly what I need and make more money because of the longevity of building. Where was the thing the note said? Building, no, not that one. Building an online brand and potential collaboration. I typically collaborate in the personal finance space, the disability advocacy space, some in the adult business space. Like I did a podcast with oh great, her book. I like how I'm throwing in the books that make sense. I was able to advocate and collaborate, do a podcast episode with Annie Temple. She's written 2 books now. She's wrote this book now for erotic entrepreneurs. This was a gift. It's a short book. I will have to read it. This is a short book. Let me go find a thing in this book. Build your website. No. Begin with the end in mind. The most important thing you must do as a business owner is offer an exemplary experience to your customers. The most important goal of any business is to get repeat customers. As an adult entertainer, you want to do the same. Some marketing gurus refer to this concept as beginning with the end in mind. Everything that comes before the delivery of the product or service is done to create the perfect end product or service. Marketing comes out of the quality of the product or service you're delivering. People find out pretty fast if you're making a promise you can't keep. A business owner, your goal should be to strive to offer the best product and service you're able to provide at any given time. I say any given time because sometimes you will not be at your best. For instance, when I'm not feeling well, but I have bills to pay and can't turn down work, I try to give my clients the absolute best experience I can offer under the circumstances for that 1 hour I have with each client. I make them the light of my life and the center of my universe. That I remember doing. That's probably I was online for 12, 16 hours a day. I gave all of my energy in every show that I do online. I still do that now. And I kind of have to pace myself for my 2025. Just the way it is. And then with Annie Temple as well. She's also an entertainment worker who has a disability, who still chooses to live her best life as best as she can on her own terms with her health condition. There's a handful of people that do that. We have a health condition. We know we have to make money to make our lives better. And we're trying to balance the two of them without ruining the quality of health and life that we have. I know it's not for everybody, but there's 7 billion people on the planet. Not all of us are going to make it to the other side. And some of us are just going to surpass you in different areas. It's just what it is. Not like, it's just, how to describe it? Horse racing. Yes, horse racing. Grandma took me there every weekend as a kid. So every horse starts at the start line with their blinders on, with their numbers and their colors that match the jockey. And the way that they're trained, the way that their family tree, mommy and daddy have them, and now they're a thoroughbred horse racer, and they go. Some horses get to first place very, very quickly and drop backwards. Some horses are somewhere in the back or the middle and make it to first place. I don't know why I still remember that. The grandma took me there every single weekend. She would study the program of every horse. Then she decided, based on the odds, who she would bet on the horse. I was 6. I guess grandma was having a bad horse racing betting weekend. And she asked me what number to pick. I said 6. I was 6. That horse won $5,000 or $6,000. That horse was on TV. It was in the paper. I got the little LA light shoes that light up. And then we had our winnings, my grandma's winnings, but I picked the horse, so I felt like my winnings, in the living room, on the floor, laid out on the floor. Obviously, I'm going to remember that because my grandma made that the most elaborate experience she could. I got McDonald's. I got everything from Barbie. Grandma went to New Kids on the Block concert on my behalf and came back with all the t-shirts. And now looking back at it, these horses are trained to race to win or get pretty close to it every single time. That is life. I mean, you won the first, you're here, so you won the first race. Living here is a different race. You may win, you may not. I don't know. You can be from the back of the pack of the race and make it. Or you can be in the middle and drop back to the back of the pack. Or in the middle and completely win the race. You can show, you can place, you can win. That's up to you. But every one of those horses have their blinders on. They only focus on moving forward as fast as they can. The speed is up to you. But, a quick pace would be a good idea. All right. So, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Do I have more things to talk about? Oh, Q&A. Well, I don't think is there anybody in chat? Because if there's questions and comments and things in chat, I can stay a little bit longer. But, okay, what topics did I have? I had your health, prioritize your well-being. Then we had build a secure financial future. That's the wealth part. Happiness part is cultivate joy and fulfillment. And then everything else is AI is trying to encourage me what to do. That's my 2025. I feel like I'm going to not keep this video up because it was a impromptu live stream to ring in the new year. And I did. I rang in the new year on a live stream. Usually I don't do that. But I will see you on the next one. Smooches. Bye.